Hi, my name is Cheryl Thomas, and today for our daily thought, we are looking at Psalm 54. The main theme of this psalm is God's sustaining power in the midst of betrayal. Have you ever felt betrayed by your own? Has someone you've known or loved ever said or done anything that's caught you by surprise? David knew this very well. In the first 3 verses of this psalm, we learn that people from David's own tribe of Judah, the Ziphites, were trying to capture him to appease Saul because they feared him. The next verse, verse 4, says, "Surely God is my help. The Lord is the one who sustains me." Psalm 55, verse 22 says, "Cast your burden on the Lord, releasing the weight of it, and He will sustain you. He will never allow the righteous to be moved." Some scholars say that David ran from Saul for about 10 to 13 years. David had no choice but to lean on God's sustaining power for this long of a period of time. He was anointed as king as a teenager, but didn't assume his proper leadership until around 30 years old. He spent much of his adult life on the run. That is the sustaining power of God. A few years ago, my husband lost his job. He was unemployed for a total of 6 months. I remember believing God with all vigor during those first few months, but nearing the end of those months, the tears wouldn't end. I cannot even fathom how much faith David must have had to continue to trust in the Lord month after month, year after year. But his Psalms are riddled with this pattern of questioning and then an ultimate declaration of faith. Verses 5 to 7 express this declaration of faith. They denote how David trusted God to repay his perpetrators. It says, "Let evil recoil on those who slander me. In your faithfulness, destroy them. I will sacrifice a freewill offering to you. I will praise your name, Lord, for it is good. You have delivered me from all my troubles, and my eyes have looked in triumph on my foes." David would not find vindication with Saul. It would only come from God. In the Bible, we see betrayal many times. Samson was betrayed by Delilah. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers. And Jesus himself dipped his hand in the same bowl as his own betrayer, Judas. In all of these situations, the victim did not seek out retaliation. In the same way, when David had an opportunity to harm Saul, he spared him. David adhered to God's design for authority and believed that the Lord would deliver him. Though he was one of the fiercest warriors at that time, he restrained himself. David cut off the corner of Saul's robe, likely with the grand sword of Goliath. This is the same sword that he decapitated the champion fighter with as Saul stood on the sidelines. Even though David had the experience and the weaponry in his own strength to overthrow his opponent, he did not lift a finger out of pure respect for the Lord's anointed. David truly believed that the battle was the Lord's. If you are in a situation of relational betrayal, excluding abuse, I encourage you to exercise self-control, pray for your offender, and allow the Lord to fight for you. Romans 8 verse 31 says, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" Deuteronomy 20 verse 4 says, "For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies to give you the victory." The Lord will sustain you in the waiting. In the story of David, Saul ultimately relented to David in 1 Samuel 24, verse 17 to 20. Saul himself, without coercion, recognized that David did him no harm. God is the only one who can cause the heart to soften and be transformed. When we retaliate with our carnal weaponry, we will reap a carnal victory. But when we challenge our own impulses to submit under the authority of Jesus Christ, we will receive a longer lasting and deeply meaningful spiritual victory. We see later in 1 Samuel 26 that David had yet another opportunity to harm Saul, and he didn't. Ultimately, during battle, Saul took his own life. Saul did not die at the hands of the only one who was justified to kill him. David proves to us that walking faithfully with the Lord is well worth it. God is trustworthy. Allow the Lord the opportunity to do his best work today. May God bless.